Good sunny day, everyone. It's me, your friendly intergalactic sun prince of the sun, Enyou Solaris to Moshimas. You can also call me Solaris or Sol. I am also an esteemed writer. Ignore the fact that I haven't written anything in like 2 years. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Things happened, but I got it. We got it. The first episode of the 2-part series. This is Dead Spy, the new... Hold on. Maybe I should put this like at the bottom. Nah, I don't know where this is gonna go. Okay. Dead Spy Road Trip Episode 1. This is my new original light novel series. About this cowboy and this princess, and why is it called Dead? Why me when the road trip has dead spies on it? I already stole Dom's joke. But yeah, this will be me reading the first episode of many. Episode 2 is already deep into production, and by deep into production I mean almost finished. That will be out in May. But episode 1 is now, and I'll be reading it. It's 8,633 words, and I just be reading it starting from chapter 1. And if you're watching the VOD and you want to skip me yapping and just want to get to the reading, please use the timestamps in the description or on the progress bar. So yeah, that'll be it. And I have a content warning, because I always try to do that for streams. For when I'm talking about like an anime or playing a game, like you can just look up the content warnings for the game or anime. But for things like when I make an original story, I'm like, okay, let's just anything that might be in here. We got blood, gore, death in a series called Dead Spy Road Trip. There's no effing way. Guns, swearing, and suggestive themes. I'm still not 100% sure what suggestive themes it means. Actually, I do know. Whatever, you get the idea. It's a light. I tried to make it light novel-y. That's what I will say. But I don't even think that appears in the first episode. Actually, there might be a little bit in the first the first chapter or two. But I was mostly thinking of a scene in episode 2 for that. Anyway, yeah, key art by Cigar Charlotte, and logo by Entrin Artist. So I love this artwork. They turned my little stick figures, my very amateur character design, and turned into a beautiful artwork. And we also got this logo with the Japanese at the bottom, Dedo Subairo Tripu, with the skull and the purple flames. It's really good. I like it a lot. Kind of could crop this, but I'm not sure how to do that here. Anyway, oh yeah, also, if you're VOD watching and you just want to read the story yourself without having me yap at all, my Medium will be linked in the description, and you can read it there as well. Probably should have said that at the beginning. I'm nervous! I'm always nervous when I release my art out into the wild to fend for itself. But also, yeah, I haven't done a reading like this in like 2 years because of a lot of various circumstances that hopefully will not happen anymore, and hope I will not take 2 more years to make my next story. And also, this is like a big project, the first 2 episodes of like a new series. I have to like establish like everything and like do a lot of background work before I can even start writing. So yeah, this has been in like production since like kind of 2020 is when I originally thought the idea, and then just like I've been on and off working on it until like now. I mean, I guess I'm still working on it because it's a series, and I have to finish episode 2 and then finish all the editing on episode 2 and then make further episodes. Whatever, I'm rambling, I'm nervous, I'm sorry. Anyway, that's all I have to say. 2 minutes into the stream and I already need a drink of water. But yeah, I have some stuff to say afterward, but you know what? Let's just let's just get right into it. Let's just hop straight in. I'm trying to think of more things I can do to delay the start of this since I'm nervous. But yeah. I will ask a quick question. I know what this could be. You got this? Oh, hi. How's it going? You're way too effing big. You're way too big. Hold on. Hi, Mar. The chat will be destroyed, so on-screen chat is all you will have. So yeah, you got this. I mean, I have this. Okay, I'm starting. I'm starting. But yeah, I'm doing episode 1, chapter 1, 1-1, canon chat size. Okay, how's that for the chat size? I think that's a little, I think that's visible without being too distracting. Okay. Do you want to make it a little bigger? Meow. Okay. Meow, 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 meow. I'm also not having background music, so it can be more of like an audiobook. Do you know that I'm in Love with the Villainous light novel got a audiobook, like in English? Like, that's crazy. Like, light novels never get audiobooks. Almost made a joke that would not be appropriate. Listen, you gotta follow if under all these. I have suggestive themes in already covered. The content warning is already on screen. It's okay. But yeah, we're starting Dead Spy Road Trip episode 1. This beautiful art of the two main characters. Who are these? What are they? And also the trailer text is not in there because I did originally had it as like the intro blurb as like a chapter 0, but I ultimately decided against it, and then I kept it for just put it in the trailer. But whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, we're starting. So here's the characters that we will meet on our journey. The logo, word count 8,633. I want to say my last story, the Palutena fanfiction, was 7,000 words, so it's a little bit longer. And this is just for part 1. Part 2 is like 11,000 words. Story by Enyou, Solaris. Hey, I know that guy. That guy's me. That's me. Key art by Shigar Charlotte. Logo by entrant artist. Content warning: blood, gore, death, guns, swearing, suggestive themes. I know, death in a series called Dead Spy Road Trip? That's crazy. Also, this was a last-minute addition. The episode 1, the onset. People die in Dead Spy Road Trip? I was just about to start, and then Dom came here. Thank you for the moral support. People die. I was fearing that I would have your comment pin the whole stream, and then you wouldn't actually show up. Anyway, if you want to watch this, if you want to watch episode 2 when it comes out live, don't forget to subscribe. Except you don't even know anything about me yet. You don't even know if you want to see the episode 2. So wait until you finish episode 1, and then if you like episode 1, then you just whatever. I had a phone call. Okay, we're starting now. From the top. 10 minutes in of yapping. Dead Spy Road Trip episode 1. Visual logo, a very cool. Word count 8,633. Story by Enyou, Solaris. That's me. Key art by Shigar Charlotte. Logo by entrant artist. Content warning: blood, gore, death, guns, swearing, and suggestive themes. Maybe in that order. I might have just written these in the order that I wrote it into the story. I'm not sure. Lurky mostly, but I'm here supporting my friend because writing is cool. Thanks. I'm sorry I'm being sounding sarcastic, but thank you. It means a lot to me because I'm super nervous releasing this because it's my baby. I'm letting my baby out into the world. But we just gotta start. We just gotta start. If you truly love something, you must let it free out into the world. Okay. Nose is itchy. Okay. Episode 1, The Onset. Chapter 1, The Pickup. I'm still not ready. Episode 1, The Onset. Chapter 1, The Pickup. A cowboy on a motorcycle rides for a post-apocalyptic desert wasteland. The hot sun was high in the air, and the wind off the bike blew dust and his long leather jacket upwards. There was no civilization as far as the eye could see, just sand dunes in place of what used to be the Atlantic Ocean. Well before... Hold on. Is all this on screen? Okay. Let me know if this text is readable. It might not be readable, like, on mobile, but I'm also reading it out loud, but whatever. Let me know if you want the text bigger. Well before he was born, the Earth reached a breaking point, and war destroyed all of what was considered modern society. But out of the wreckage, humanity remained. They decided to pick up the scraps and start again. This time, they chose not to live in one interconnected world, but in millions of isolated communities. The smallest being no more than 150 people each. It's readable on a vertical phone view, so probably good. This cowboy, on the other hand, had long abandoned his community in favor of roaming this new Earth, taking odd jobs wherever he could. This eventually led his aimless journey to a sketchy small town. This cluster of dilapidated buildings was the type of town where if you let your guard down for even a second, you would find all of your belongings missing. Not that it mattered to the rough and tough cowboy. He was here for one reason, an odd job to get some cash in his pocket. He parked his motorcycle behind an abandoned building and met 3 guys who could best be described as your common wild western bandits. They made their way into a dark alley into the back of town. I guess I did keep some of the intro blurb that I turned into the trailer, because I'm pretty sure this is just a direct copy paste from the trailer. Anyway, this is why I gotta start doing voices. This is gonna be my voice training. What took you so long? One of the guys said, their face covered by a dusty bandana. The cowboy did not respond. Whatever, let's just go. The meetup spot is just up ahead. He then rubbed his hands together like a praying mantis. Man, we're gonna make so much money off of this. The cowboy was quite showy and out of place with these bandits who did their best to blend in and look generic. And he did fit that cowboy description to a T, with a dark brown cowboy hat, a matching trench coat, and torn up jeans, and some leather boots. He also had a revolver and a combat knife at his side. However, what most people were distracted with was his torn off right sleeve, revealing a large black bird tattoo, covering most of his right arm. Even for a rough guy like him, this bird tattoo stood out and brought up many questions. Why would a cowboy get a tattoo of something like that? What does it represent? The cowboy's tough guy demeanor made these questions something that most people were too afraid to ask. I'm just thinking, do I need to edit this live on stream? Because I know his design changed slightly. Like, he didn't always have this undershirt, and the artist drew him without the undershirt, and I'm like, whoa! Let's give him a little undershirt. This is not an 18+ story. I'm sorry. But I think I fixed all of that. Whatever, it's fine. Are we sure this is a good idea? The second slightly rounder looking bandit said. Transporting kidnapped royalty is a pretty big deal, isn't it? As long as I gotta do voices. I can't do voices and be nervous at the same time. As long as the job pays well, I couldn't care what we do, the cowboy said to his fellow evildoers. He didn't go out of his way for a kidnapping mission, but as a freelance mercenary, he had to find money where he could. Actually, nerves are going down as I'm doing it. Okay, you just have to do it. Just do it. Do it scared, and you'll eventually stop being scared, hopefully. That you die. The group turned the corner and arrived at the meeting spot behind an old building just outside of town. A place people wouldn't visit often, even if it wasn't in a kind of town known for its ruthless bandits. Well, you're finally here. Took you long enough. They were met with 2 more generic-looking bandits and the girl of the hour, the valuable princess. She looked like the platonic ideal of a princess, with a royal red and golden yellow dress. Her long sleeves covered up to her hands and the hem of her dress fell down to her ankles. Her bright blonde hair was also very princess-like, with the back half braided up in a circle and the front framing her face with 2 delicate curls. What is that? That doesn't match the key art. That's why it's Solaris. What are you? What? Shh. Let me cook. I guess she's not actually that bad looking, the cowboy thought to himself. Even though her eyes were covered with the blindfold, it was obvious that she had a smooth and pretty face. Likewise, her fancy dress did not hide her slim figure and modest breasts. There's the sensitive themes. Oh, don't worry, it gets worse. Overall, she seemed to be a very sheltered young lady in her early 20s. When the group approached the damsel in distress, she heard them and cried out, "Hello? Is that someone there? Please help me." "Sorry, lady," the cowboy responded. "We're only here to make a trade." What? Why did this not properly space? I just copy and pasted this from my typing program to Medium. I'm not sure what happened here. Okay, there we go, fixed it. "Quit your yapping and show us the money already," the grunt who stood behind the tied-up princess yelled out. Yeah, we brought the money," the cowboy said out loud, but was thinking, "I've got a better idea." The cowboy, where's my fidget? The cowboy started counting the people present. 2 holding the princess, 3 with me. Yeah, this should be possible. He then slowly walked towards the princess. "Hey, what are you doing?" "Just checking to make sure the goods aren't damaged." Before anyone could respond, the cowboy pulled out his hunting knife and cut the princess's hands free. "What the hell do you think you're doing? Don't you know, the first rule of being a spy is deception." Most people knew this cowboy as a mercenary, but his true way of making money was espionage and deception. In other words, being a spy. So simple infiltrations and betrayals like this were pretty common for him. The cowboy took advantage of the confusion that his sudden actions caused to attack. He pulled out his revolver and shot one of the 2 holding the princess in the leg. The other ran to stop him, but the cowboy quickly put his weapon away, spun around to punch the attacker in the face, causing his overcoat to fly in an arc. The punch landed and the thug flew down to the ground with a dull thud. "Hey man, this isn't part of the deal." I don't know what that accent was. One of the grunts who came with him shouted. The cowboy turned to face him. "Only 3 more, then I'm good." Did I keep that right? Okay, whatever, it's fine, don't worry about it. I'm bad with numbers. There's no, I got rid of all the plot holes I can possibly do. I had people read it over. There might have been, there might be still some plot holes caused by me not knowing how to do numbers. All of a sudden, a high-pitched voice broke the tension. "Thanks for the save, Mr. Cowboy." It was the now free princess. "I can handle the rest on my own," she said as she took off her blindfold, revealing her sparkly blue eyes. The cowboy only freed her because he thought her panicking and screaming would cause a distraction, but it sounded like that wasn't going to be the case. "Let me show you what I can really do." The princess pushed in on the brooch on her chest, and the sound of machinery and wiring... Wearing? The sound of machinery and wiring started to come from her dress. Her sleeves shot up, turning short and puffy. Likewise, her dress started to contract and fold up into a puffy skirt, going past her knees, revealing her lacy combat boots. Everyone in the alley was shocked to silence from the girl's transformation from dainty princess to athletic tomboy. And that's what we have in the key art up here. She got a transforming dress. Where am I? I lost my place. Okay, here we go. Everyone in the alley was shocked to silence from the girl's transformation from dainty princess to athletic tomboy. "I'm not just a damsel in distress, you see." She then reached both hands into her pockets. In her right hand, she pulled out in her right hand. To see why I don't do audiobooks, in addition to not being good at editing, I also cannot read things consistently. In her right hand, she pulled out a handle of a sword with no blade attached. In her other hand, a pile of metal squares. She then threw the metal squares into the air as she pressed a button on her sword handle. The squares then flew towards the handle and shaped into place, forming the blade of a beautiful rapier. Whoa! Everyone was left speechless, even the cowboy. He knew that the princess came from a kingdom famous for their technological research, but didn't know they had anything like this to show for it. "What are you doing, gawking? Stop that crazy broad!" I think this was one of my, the introduction, the word broad, before you yell at me, was a beta reader suggestion. Said one of the 3 remaining thugs before running after her with a machete. The princess eloquently parried the swing with her sword and then cut him across the chest, causing him to fall to the ground, writhing in pain. "Ha! Too easy," she confidently smirked. Sonic Heroes taught me that word. You know what? I might have been thinking of Sonic Heroes when I wrote this line. Vector saying like, who is this broad? That might also be where I learned that word for the first time. Vector, you can't say that! Don't worry about it. Anyway, she eloquently parried the sword. Ha, too easy. She confidently smirked. The cowboy backed up a few steps. The princess had skills far beyond what he was expecting, so it was probably best to lay low for the moment. Okay, that's enough out of you, one of the two remaining thugs said. Come at me as much as you like, the princess asserted as she swung towards the thug. But he ducked under her swing, punched her in the gut, and did a leg sweep, knocking both her and her sword to the ground with a thud in one quick motion. Wait, she retorted. That's not fair. You can't use your hands in a sword fight. What? The cowboy blurted out. Don't tell me you only practiced against other blade users. Shut up, responded the princess, tears welling up in her eyes. The cowboy let out a sigh. Looks like I do have to finish this all by myself after all. That's a funny moment. I broke it. Okay. He pulled out his revolver and shot the ground by the thug's feet, being careful not to hit the princess. The bullet caused a dirt cloud to fly up. Using that as cover, the cowboy rushed in with his knife and stabbed the thug in the gut, making sure to avoid any vital spots. Both the thug and the dirt cloud fell to the ground. Oh, hell no! I'm not getting paid enough to deal with a traitor cowboy and this crazy princess, the last thug said as he ran away with his tail between his legs. Well, at least that's over, he took a sigh of relief. The cowboy then turned to the princess. Hey, how about we... But he was cut off by a cold sensation running through him. It was the princess's sword going directly into his chest and piercing his heart. Sorry, but I intend to go on my own from here, the princess said out loud, but was thinking, shit! I didn't mean to actually kill him, shit! Regardless, the life drained from the cowboy's eyes as the princess pulled her sword out, leaving him to lifelessly fall to the ground. See, that's the dead spy in the Dead Spy road trip. One of my favorite lines of the first episode, not gonna lie. I'm truly sorry, Mr. Cowboy, but there's nothing that can be done now, she whispered to herself as she turned to walk away. As the princess was leaving the scene of the crime, she heard a strange sound coming up from behind her, it was as if some powerful force was welling up. It couldn't be. The girl slowly turned to see the cowboy's body floating up in midair. His eagle tattoo was glowing and almost seemed to be moving towards the hole in his chest. After a moment, black smoke shot out from the cowboy's fatal wound, and he was back on his feet as he opened his eyes. What? That's crazy! That was pretty rude of you, don't you think? The cowboy's words shocked the princess and froze her in place. I thought I killed you! Her voice was shaking. I could do better. I thought I killed you! Her voice was shaking. The cowboy lifted his revolver. Like earlier, his bird tattoo shined and started to move. This time to his gun, and he aimed it at the princess. Wait! I'm sorry I almost killed you! I don't want to die! The princess winced as the sound of the gun firing could be heard. Then there was a moment of silence. Wait, I'm alive? The girl checked herself to find she was unharmed, despite a trail of smoke going through her forehead. Ugh! She heard grunting coming from behind her and turned to see that the trail of smoke continued behind her and hit someone else. She didn't fully understand what happened, but somehow the bullet that the cowboy fired passed harmlessly through her and hit the guy behind her. I'll take this one. You get the one behind me, Fox! It was probably, sorry, from the top. She didn't fully understand what happened, but somehow the bullet that the cowboy fired passed harmlessly through her and hit the guy behind her. It was probably the thug from earlier who came back for a sneak attack. A puff of smoke blew out from where the bullet hit him and he fell unconscious. Oh my god, it makes sense now! It's crazy! You saved me? Still unsure what exactly happened. The princess could surmise at least that much. I love writing words that I don't know how to pronounce. Yep, he responded. I couldn't have killed you. I could have killed you right then and there. I also could have just sold you to those guys. However, you're worth much more alive and delivered to your parents, so that's what I intend to do. The cowboy put his gun away and offered a hand. So how about we stop fighting and we can both get what we want? Deal? The princess crossed her arms and closed her eyes to think for a moment. I suppose he is right. He could have from the top. I suppose he is right. He could have killed me just now, and he had every right to after I nearly killed him, but he didn't. And I also could use a safe ride home. The path back to the kingdom is long and filled with a lot more of those thugs, and if things get too risky, I could always... Okay, I think this'll work. The young girl made up her mind. Well then, you have your... I forgot who was talking. Well then, you have yourself a deal. Get me home safely, and I'm sure my parents will reward you greatly. The princess shook the cowboy's hand, and the two made an agreement. Now then, the princess rested her hands on her hips. If we are going to be traveling together, then it would be proper that we exchange names. She placed her hand on her chest, and the cowboy rolled his eyes. My name is Princess Elise von Newingdom of the Newingdom Kingdom. Elise spelled with a Y, she declared. Now what's your name, cowboy? I have no name, he scoffed. But you must have a name. Everyone has a name, don't they? Elise pondered. Well, my name is not important. I'm just another John Doe. See, was that so hard? She put her hands together with a smile. It's very nice to meet you, Mr. John. What the cowboy was saying clearly went over her head, but he figured that she needed... I can't speak. What the cowboy was saying clearly went over her head, but he figured that she needed to call him something. Fine, John eventually spit out. Let's just get moving before people come to find all these guys lying around. Of course, lead the way, Mr. John, Elise said joyfully as she followed John out of town. And just like that, the two had begun their long and perilous journey together. Yippee! That's it. That's all I had to do. Now there's, how many chapters? Hold on. Don't look. Close your eyes. Close your eyes real fast. While I double check how many chapters are in the first episode. I mean, if you're watching the VOD, you can just look in the timestamp. 4 chapters. There are 4 chapters. So yeah, I listen, when I told you that I've been thinking about the concept of this story since like 2020, like on and off, like in working on it on and off. But when I wrote that like first chapter, I was like, oh, hold on, this is I think I got something. This is one of my favorite chapters. Just because I think it like introduces like the characters and their personalities and their dynamics like very well. And has a lot of intrigue. Like, what happened to John? Did he not actually die? Like, what's going on? And what's going on with the bird tattoo? And what is Elise doing? Also, I'm terrible. Also, before you get angry at me, I'm terrible at making names. So Elise von Newingdom and John Doe was the best I could do. Yeah, just because I like the idea of they're like, oh, we have to make a kingdom, but we have to know that it's like new. So what are we going to name it? Oh, we'll name it Newingdom Kingdom. And I'm like, you know what? That's just dumb enough sounding to work. And I'm still not sure what Von means. I just know it's used in like fancy names. I mean, I'm revealing too much about my writing process and I'm not leaving enough up to interpretation. I'm definitely leaving enough up to the interpretation. But yeah, I feel like if I have confidence that if I just approached somebody on the street and I was like, hey, read this first chapter, they would be interested. I feel like just the title, Dead Spy Road Trip, is intriguing enough to be like, okay, what's this about? I gotta know at the very least. When I came up with the title Dead Spy Road Trip, I'm like, you know what? I have really bad titles. My last 3 stories were just like Enyou Solaris intro lore, A Fight in Time, which is literally just what happened. And I don't even think the Palutena fanfic even had a name. It was just like Solaris X Palutena fanfic or something. But so when I came up with Dead Spy Road Trip, I'm like, okay, I have to take advantage of this good title while I have it. I'm back on the AC. I think it's a little warm on the sun. I don't know. Only at 50 billion degrees. It's a little high. Anyway, let me just take a quick drink and then we can start the next chapter. Also, the line spacing could be a little better. What did I do this? Yeah, we'll keep it the same. Okay. And this is just a draft on Medium, by the way. I will, at the end of the stream, I will hit publish, and then the link in the description will work. Because if I published it before or during the stream, then you could just read and get spoilers. So, and this is like the official release stream. So after this, it'll be officially released. You get the idea. Anyway. Sonic Heroes! Okay. I got the last of my nerves out. Chapter 2, Departure. The Princess Elise and Cowboy John quickly made their way out of the unconscious body-filled alleyway into the outskirts of town, where John had parked his bike. Okay, I wanted to make sure there was no the background noise the removing was working. The bike was an old-school chopper motorcycle with a powerful engine, a set of loud exhaust pipes, with wide handlebars, and a flat seat on top. The original tires had been switched out for large, thick wheels to allow it for all-terrain travel. Overall, it was a pretty fitting steel horse for the cowboy that rode it. However... Wait, don't tell me, is that what you intend to transport me with? The pristine princess said with a huff. These alliterations are gonna kill me. I know I have more coming up. We don't have time for this, John said as he climbed on the motorcycle and powered it on. Quick, get on before those bandits catch up. Do you even have a helmet? No, now get on, hurry. Elise looked back towards the dangerous-looking town with a frown. That I didn't even mean to alliterate. Elise looked back towards the dangerous-looking town with a frown and sighed. Fine, I suppose it can't be helped. She begrudgingly climbed onto the back of the bike. You better hold on if you don't want to go flying off. Yeah, you're right. She timidly reached her hands around the cowboy to grab hold of his waist. She blushed as she could feel his well-defined ab muscles under her soft fingers. She was grateful that John could not see her face right now. See, it's told you, sensitive themes. And yes, we got so far we got modest breasts and well-defined ab muscles. I also made this to appeal to the bisexuals in the crowd, I'm not gonna lie. Catch me in Frown Town. Speaking of the bisexuals in the audience. Okay, let's ride. John pulled on the handlebars. Okay, let's ride. John pulled on the handlebars and the two of them zoomed off into the distance, causing John's overcoat and Elise's short drill hair to fly up into the wind, leaving nothing but a cloud of smoke and dust behind them as they left the town. Should I add like an extra spacing here? Why not? Or edit it live on stream? Because what do I usually do? Okay, whatever. Don't worry about it. I think I can edit things later if I want to just make sure that the spacing is accurate. Theoretically, if I were to ever publish this in a book, I would actually like hire like an actual editor to double check this. Like get it professionally edited. But for just releasing it for right now, I don't got that money. Spent all my budget on this pretty art, which is very pretty. The vast and hot desert laid before them as the town behind them got smaller and smaller, the only sound being the oddly quiet hum of the motorcycle engine. Perhaps John had modified it to sneak around easier? After a moment of driving, Elise broke the silence to ask a series of questions that were on her mind. Hey, Mr. John, what was that black smoke back there? And how did you heal yourself? And how did you shoot and knock out that guy without killing him? You're full of questions all of a sudden. And how did you shoot and knock that guy out without killing him? You're full of questions all of a sudden. Oh, was it magic? John almost fell off the bike at the ridiculousness of that question. You dummy, such an absurd concept like magic doesn't exist in this world, he said, rolling his eyes. Well then, what is it? I have no obligation to tell you anything. You're just a bargaining chip. The princess puffed her cheeks up in frustration. What do you mean, just a bargaining chip? Is that all you see me as? John did not reply. After a moment, Elise thought of a better angle to get her answers. If we are going to be traveling together for a while, wouldn't it be best to know what the other is capable of? That way, we can work as a team and that way... my reading comprehension of my own writing is just going to get worse and worse as the stream goes on. I'm going to warn you about that right now. That way, we can work as a team better in case something happens. To John's chagrin, the princess made a good point. Here, I'll go first, if that makes you feel better, Elise said confidently. Both my sword and dress work with electromagnetic technology, meaning that everything I'm wearing has bits of magnets and metal in it. I know how electromagnets work. Elise ignored him and continued her explanation. When I push in on the When Elise ignored him and continued her explanation. When I push in on the brooch on my dress, the magnets turn on and the small bits of metal in the skirt and sleeves get pulled inwards, giving me more freedom of movement. My sword works the same way. The hilt is a big magnet that pulls the numerous metal blades together to form a sword. Magic! Don't double check my technology. This is sci-fi, don't worry about it. But why go through all that trouble in the first place? Why not just wear a regular outfit and carry a normal sword? Well, a princess has to have a specific image. A princess has to have a specific image to maintain her reputation. However, my mother wants me to be prepared and defend myself if the need arises. Thus, the engineers at my kingdom made me this transforming outfit to fulfill both needs, depending on the situation. John sighed in response. He couldn't see her face, but he was sure that she had a very satisfied expression with how proudly she talked about her gear. Well then, now it's your turn, Mr. John. What mechanism makes your fancy powers work? My powers aren't that simple. It's more of a curse. Before he could finish, something in the distance caught his eye. Here, it'd be simpler to just show you. He stopped his bike and led Elise towards a cliff that overlooked a wide desert expanse. The two stayed low as they peered over the ledge. In the distance stood two familiar-looking grunts. It looks like some of those guys from earlier got ahead of us and are looking to cut us off, John said. And they seem to be much more prepared this time. Those are M14s they're holding. That's a real gun, right? I'm pretty sure I looked this up when I originally wrote it. By the time I can get close with my revolver and knife, we'll both be dead. Can't we just go around? They probably have stations like this set up all over that town we came from. The only way through it is to take them out. But how on earth are we going to do that? Why are some of these not spaced properly? Like I said earlier, I'll show you. John pulled out his revolver and aimed it forward. Are you crazy? They're at least a kilo away. There's no way you can hit them with that tiny gun. Using the metric system. Because she's a princess and don't think about it too hard. I'm not done yet. John looks slightly annoyed. Keep watching. The bird tattoo on John's arm started to glow again. This time it came to life and peeked its head and wings out of his forearm, forming the shadowy outline of an eagle. What the? I say this a little too often. This also might be a thing I got from Sonic. This also might be a mannerism I got from a Sonic game. A while ago, I was cursed with this mysterious and powerful bird. It usually takes the form of a tattoo on my arm, but if I concentrate enough, I can draw it out and use its power as my own. Doing so, I can enhance the effectiveness of my weapons, like making that sleeping bullet you saw earlier, or this. The shadowy eagle then wrapped itself around John's gun, morphing into a shape resembling a larger rifle. Wow! The starstruck princess exclaimed. Starstruck, not a word. Whatever. Maybe it needs like a dash or something. There, happy. John then used his gun-turned rifle to fire 2 shots off into the distance. The bullets flew across the clearing and hit both the grunts dead on before they could even realize where the bullets were coming from. They collapsed to the ground as John's rifle turned it into its usual size. Wow, amazing! Elise couldn't help but clap at the performance she saw before her. So this shadowy bird gives you superpowers. Very cool. Her understanding was very simplified, but she got the point. Elise went to try to pet the bird. So what's your bird's name? What? John pulled the bird away. It doesn't have a name. It's just a tool. It's not like a real animal or anything like that. Elise saw the bird give her a quick glance before retreating back into tattoo form. Are you sure about that? She pondered. Yes. Now can we please get back on the road? I love my characters very much. I love the dynamic of Elise not giving a crap and just being full of whimsy, and John just being like, can we please move on? Enough crazy questions. We got crap to do. It's a good character dynamic, I'm not gonna lie. Not to pat my own horn or anything. Wait, that's not, whatever. There has to be more to this whole Superbird thing than meets the eye, but Elise figured that she could learn as they traveled. Sure, let's go. Between your bird and my sword skills, I should have no problem getting back to my kingdom safely. I sure hope so. What was this chapter called? that I wrote, that I did? I think it's just called Departure, yeah. Meow, meow, meow. John and Elise hopped down on the bike and continued their journey. A while later, the sun was starting to set, and the princess let out a loud yawn. Can we stop somewhere? I'm getting tired and hungry, she complained. Needs to be abbreviation. Okay. I'm really bad at typing abbreviations. I don't know why. There's an inn just up ahead. We can stop there. John had planned out this trip very precisely, so he knew that they were going to be approaching a place to sleep not too long before the end of the first day. A few moments later, a small town appeared in the otherwise empty desert horizon. A few moments later, a small town appeared on the otherwise empty desert horizon. It wasn't quite as rough Again, reading comprehension. It wasn't quite as rough looking as the town they met in, but it wasn't particularly fancy. Just a few scattered shops and a rundown inn. They pulled in front of the inn and went inside. 2 single rooms, please, John asked as he gave the clerk a sack of coins from his pocket. This guy has one line. What crazy accent should we give him? Of course, sir. And who will you be staying with? What do you mean? I'm with her. John cut himself off to see that Elise was no longer beside him. He slightly panicked as he looked around, only to see her running across the street and into a burger joint. Oh, good grief. The cowboy quickly finished paying and grabbed 2 room keys before bolting out. What do you think you're doing running off like that? John said to the princess, who was happily enjoying a burger, a drip of ketchup running down from the corner of her mouth. I told you before. I told you I was hungry. Besides, burgers are my favorite, and I could use one after a rough day of getting kidnapped. Fair enough. Understandable. Can't argue with that. John sighed and then sat at the table. Aren't you going to have any, Mr. John? Despite being so small, this place does have proper burgers with cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, ketchup, and mustard. They even have bacon. Not hungry, just hurry it up. John cut off Elise's passionate food rant. Geez, I guess someone is grouchy. Elise finished her meal, thanked the staff, and the 2 went back to the inn. Again, I love the dynamic. They're just fun characters to write. This place is pretty sketchy looking. Hold on. Okay. This place is pretty sketchy looking, said the spoiled princess. It's not a huge castle, but you'll have to make do. Oh, I wasn't complaining at all. It's just not what I'm used to, is all, she said with a nervous smile. Whatever. We leave at 6 o'clock sharp. If we hurry, we can make it back to your kingdom before dark. Righto, Captain! John couldn't tell if Elise was mocking him, but figured that if she got the... blah, blah, blah. John figured... John? Bleh. Night, room, house, homework? John couldn't tell if Elise was mocking him, but figured that she got the message anyway. The two retreated into their rooms for the night. The next morning came, and John was waiting in front of her door at 6 o'clock as promised. However, she wasn't showing up. He knocked on her door. Hey, I said it's 6 o'clock and it's 6 o'clock! No answer. Getting slightly worried, he kicked down the door, as you do. Elise was nowhere to be seen. Oh, good grief. John figured that she probably just ran off again looking for more food. However, as he looked off into town, remembering that they are still in prime bandit territory, he couldn't help but think, I got a bad feeling about this. Okay, listen. If the first chapter didn't sell you on these characters, clearly the second chapter, and with Elise's whimsy and John's, let's get a move on already attitude. Right. So I think I meant to have good grief as like a catchphrase that he did as a reference to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They usually translate yada yada as good grief. But I think these are the only 2 times that he says it in the entire series. So far, I'm writing the series. I've only wrote the first 2 episodes. I can fix that. Whatever. You don't know. You're not bossing me. What are you, my editor? I don't have budget for an editor. Let me take a drink of water. Yeah, we're making good time. I'm okay with this if this ends up being a somewhat short stream, because it'll be easier for VOD watching. But also, I think, I know that I said that there are 4 chapters, and we're sort of theoretically halfway through, but I think the 4th chapter is like twice as long as all the other chapters. Don't question me and my, chapter making. And I was gonna say something, but this, that would be a better question for after the thing. For after the reading is over and we're just chatting about it. But I was gonna say, should I do episode 1, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then episode 2, chapter 5, 6, 7, 8, or do episode 2, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4? What makes more sense? Because I haven't released episode 2 yet, so I still have time to change it. I feel like I like keeping track of the chapters. But it'd just be really awkward. You pick up episode 83, chapter 1,507. But I don't know, I like keeping count of the chapters. So that way you can read by chapter or read by episode. Even though I release them in episode chunks or whatever. Don't worry, don't think about it too hard. But like theoretically, if there is going to be, if I want to make a physical release, if I can make a physical release one day, just theoretically. Anyway, I was like, what is that mark? What is that thing on my screen? And I'm like, oh, it's my cursor. Might be slightly losing it. Chapter 3, Trust and Distrust. That cowboy's crazy if he thinks I trust him enough to get me home. Her big red dress was back in princess mode, swishing with every step she took. Elise walked down the road of the small desert town. By the way, throwing shade to Dom. One of my beta readers said that he thought her dress was blue for some reason, so I added more instances of saying what color her dress was. But now I get that when you're reading and I only mention it like once or twice and you don't have this picture to help you. Totally just a me thing, yeah. I think it was also before. I think I had you read the story before I had this picture made too. So that was a thing too. Don't worry about it, Dom. Her big red dress back in princess mode, swishing with every step she took. Elise walked down the road of the small desert town. She played nice at first to get out of that shady town she was kidnapped to, but now that she got some space from that cowboy, she ran off as soon as she could. John is a bandit as well. She wasn't going to trust his promise to get her home safely at all. True, yes. See, look at me playing with the tropes of like, oh yeah, sure, I'm going along with you, we're a team now. And then next chapter, yeah, I'm not effing trusting that dude I just met like 2 seconds ago. I should get out of here before that guy finds me. But first, Elise stopped in her tracks and spotted a small antique shop. Once inside, she found herself surrounded by old furniture and odd knickknacks. But one item in particular caught her eye, a small pendant with a beautiful blue gem in the center. Her eyes sparkled with glee. Okay, this character also has like 2 lines of dialogue, so we also gotta give her a terrible voice. You have a very good eye there, young girl, a shaky voice called out. Elise looked behind her and saw an old lady, presumably the shopkeeper. Oh, hi, Elise responded. I was just looking for a souvenir. It's said that this gem was found here a long time ago and has the mysterious power to connect people. Like, okay, Grandma, let's get you back to bed. Oh, the young girl's eyes lit up. This will make the perfect present for Onesama. How much do you want for it? Don't worry, it'll get explained. Just keep reading. The shopkeeper had no idea what she meant by Onesama, but she sold her the trinket regardless. Okay, yeah, that's me basically saying like, oh, we'll get to it, don't worry. Elise paid for the pendant and left the shop with a slight bounce in her step. I'm sure she'll love this. She smiled at the sparkly blue gift before putting it in one of her dress's pockets. That sentence might be too long. Now, how to get out of here? Pondering this question, she turned the corner and was met with 2 rough-looking thugs. Finally caught up to you, princess. Oh, geez, you lot never learn. At least figured something like this would happen eventually, so she was prepared. She pressed a button on her chest to turn her dress into battle mode and pulled out the hilt of her rapier. But before she could put together the sword part of her sword, a hand with a rag came up from behind her. There, that's my best guess of what this sound means. She tried to scream out, but the rag covered her mouth and she was quickly losing consciousness. Shit! I let my guard down. This is bad! I like how I just kind of made her a little bit of a potty mouth. Before she passed out, one of the thugs screamed, and she could barely make out the outline of a dark brown overcoat before passing out. An amount of time later, Elise was shocked back awake with a splash of cold water in her face. What? She muttered, still half asleep. What do you mean, what? I just saved your ass. See, John was the character you would think would be cursing more. A gruff voice called out. Her eyes came back into focus, and she could see a very annoyed cowboy squatting down in front of her. John, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same question. What happened to the plan we had to meet up in the morning? I'm just doing my best Johnny on Bosch impersonation for the John voice. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not a very good Johnny on Bosch voice, but you get the idea. Could ask you the same question. What happened to the plan we had to meet up in the morning? That's not bad. That's not bad. I could do better. I could do better. I don't need your help, Elise pouted. I can make it back on my own. Clearly you can't. I thought you would learn after the last time that your long sword is not suited for close combat. John sighed and stood up. Anyway, come on, let's go. He offered a hand to help her back up. Although, honestly, if we're thinking about it, I feel like John would be voiced by Matt Mercer. Just seems like one of those characters. This surely is no ordinary thug. He risked his own life to save me twice now. The young princess thought perhaps this rough cowboy could be trusted, at least a little bit. Fine, Elise accepted his hand to stand up. You did get me out of that dumb trap, so I guess you aren't completely useless. Thank you, John felt relieved. And no more running off anymore. Elise gave a begrudging nod. The two then hopped on John's bike and left town. Despite their morning excursion, they were still making good time on their trip. By the time it became high noon, they were still on track to make it to the kingdom before dusk. However, there were always distractions on a trip this long. Mr. John, can we please stop at that rest stop? No. Would you really refuse a lady a place to freshen up? Fine, just hurry it up. At this pace, we might not make it to your kingdom before nightfall. Why? By my predictions, we should have plenty of time. Was John planning something? Elise wondered, or just very punctual? Just go already. John said as he slowed the bike down in front of a dank rest stop on the side of the dirt path. A dank rest stop on the side of the dirt path. Yeah, that makes sense. Did I get rid of my period? Where'd my period go? Swear I had a period there. Elise quickly hopped off and ran inside. After a moment, John saw the young princess exiting the building, looking very refreshed. She then pulled out something from her pocket and stared at it in her hand, deep in thought while making her way back to the bike. What's that? John's curiosity got the best of him. Oh, what? This? She snapped back to reality and looked up at John. It's a souvenir from my One-sama. You're what? John was confused at the princess's vocabulary. One-sama is an older sister you greatly respect. Do they not have that word where you come from? Ever since the world split apart, language has been a little loose. The whole world sort of speaks the same language, but it's more accurate to say that every language of the old world fused into one with an infinite number of dialects. The farther away you get from the place you grew up in, the more unfamiliar phrases you would run into. As a mercenary spy, John had gotten to know all the vocabulary of this area of the world. However, he did not recognize One-sama. He figured it was a word from a faraway land, but why the princess was using it was beyond him, and he didn't particularly care. In case you're confused, Dom, this is a thing I inserted after some of the other beta readers were like, you should probably explain One-sama. You can't just have her say it and not have any explanation. But I'm like, I don't want to keep it in there, and I might as well explain it and do some world building that I was planning on doing later, but I'll put some here. And we have another misspaced thing. Okay. Well, I take it you look up to her a lot. Oh yes, I do, very much. But, her eyes went dark. But recently she's changed. Not too long ago, she suddenly gave up her right to the throne and disappeared without saying a word to anyone. She wasn't sure why she was telling the stranger she only met yesterday about this, but whatever. Well, I'm sure she had her reason. Forgot he was talking. Well, I'm sure she had her reasons, John responded. That was a very level-headed reaction coming from you. Oh, shut up. Anyway, I'm sure she had a good reason, but still, One-sama is not the kind of person who would just run off like that without saying anything. An uncomfortable silence filled the air around them as a soft breeze brushed past them. However, Elise's eyes lit up again. While I was out on a mission, I heard word that One-sama had returned to the kingdom. I was actually on my way back when those bandits kidnapped me. Well, it sounds like you might get some answers. Yes, I very well hope so. Elise hopped onto the bike. So let's get going. Agreed, John said as he revved up the bike and the two shot into the distance once again. That was a good moment. I like how they're finally on the same page of like, let's go. That's what I was saying. Okay, you said that too. I forgot. Can't just throw out a separate language knowing out there expecting everyone to know what it means. I originally had like an honorifics page at the beginning because I wanted to get like the feeling that it was like a loose fan translation of a light novel from like the 2000s. But I didn't necessarily fully commit to that aesthetic. But I still wanted to have this word in there, and I'm like, you know what? I want to have this word in. It was a matter of, do I want to have this word in here? Do I really want to have this word in here, or should I just get rid of it and make the story better? And I'm like, no, what? I really want to put this word in here. So I made Laura reasons for why she says that. Probably for the better, yeah. That'd be a funny, like maybe not for like an actual like long series like this, but maybe for like a one-off short story to make it like a badly translated anime. a bad fan translation of an anime. Things like all according to Keikaku, and then parentheses below it, Keikaku means plan. Just don't have a beady beady incident. How else would you listen? The index dub actually is good because they translated Beady Beady as Bug Zapper and just called her Bug Zapper the entire time, which is funny. The only reason I wouldn't recommend the index dub over the sub is because there's a lot of really good voice actors in the Japanese version. So whatever, both are good. I'm getting off topic! Sparky, yeah, I think Sparky is what a lot of fan subs use. It's also been a while since I've seen the index dub. They might do Bug Zapper and Sparky, I could be wrong. Anyway, this is not the end of the reading or in between chapters. They say Zapper. Okay, enough tangent. Okay, they do say Bug Zapper. Okay, we're getting back. After a while on the road, a large metal structure came to view over the horizon. It was a long dam-like facility that stretched between two mountain ranges with large spikes on top. What's that? Elise questioned. You didn't see it on the way out here? Nope. I guess in the process of getting kidnapped, I got farther off course than I thought. Well, that is the Bandit Fortress. Because it's situated between two mountain ranges, it's the only path between these Badlands and the peaceful valley that your kingdom sits in. Wait. The Bandit Fortress wouldn't be filled with more of those guys from earlier, would it? Yeah. Why else would it be called Bandit Fortress? Fair enough. But how are we going to get through? Maybe I don't need an exclamation point there. Nah, she's a little concerned. Okay, fair enough. But how are we gonna get through? It was one thing to fight off a couple of loose thugs, but a whole fortress of them was another story entirely. I have a plan, don't worry. If you say so. The princess wasn't too sure about this whole situation, but she had no choice but to trust the cowboy's confident demeanor. After a moment, they arrived at a lone pair of double doors, making up the only entrance to this foreboding place. Elise looked around and saw the fortress stretched out several kilometers in both directions, ending at the foot of tall mountains. Just as John said, this was the only way forward. Hey, it's me! Open up! Do you know these people? Elise whispered. As a mercenary, it helps to have a wide breadth of connections. After a moment, a shady-looking guy peered through the hole in the door. You! What do you want? We don't have any missions for you right now. Actually, I have something for you, John smirked as he turned toward Elise. This is incorrectly spaced again. Wait, what? Before she could piece together what was going on, John was already bounding her hands together with a pair of handcuffs. The princess of a nearby kingdom, he stated. She should fetch a pretty good price. Ooh, that does sound nice. What is the meaning of this, John? She said in a panic. I thought you were taking me back to my kingdom. We had a deal. Sorry, princess, but don't you know that the first rule of being a spy is deception? Before she could argue further, the doors flew open and a pair of thugs dragged her into the dark fortress. The doors shut and she could see a blank expression on John's face. The betrayal. That's why this might be one of my favorite outside of the first chapter. This might be one of my favorite chapters because there's a lot of like back and forth of like okay, I believe you, or okay, I trust you, and oh wait, hold on, no, I don't trust you, and oh okay, I trust you, I got betrayed, okay, fine, I trust you again. Oh wait, hold on, no, I don't trust you, wait, hold on, maybe I do trust you. It's a lot of I like it. It's good. I also got to say One-sama. Speaking of it's index, they also have that word in there. Okay, enough tangents. Let's finish the last chapter, which again is like twice as long as all the other chapters, but hey, whatever. There's also a character in this chapter. I don't know what I should do the voice for. No, hold on. I got it. Chapter 4. Only one way out. After being thrust inside the fortress, Elise was taken to a dark, windowless room where she awaited her uncertain future. That bastard! I did not realize how often she cursed when I wrote this, but I think it fits for her character. That bastard! Why did I ever think I could trust a lowlife like him? The princess yelled out to no one with angry tears filling her eyes. Losing strength in her legs, she fell down to the ground. There Okay, just had to make a sheep noise real fast. Bah! Okay, I got it. It's out. Losing strength in her legs, she fell down to the ground. The young princess had really screwed up this time. It was bad enough when she was taken by a group of stray bandits, but a whole organization of them had even worse consequences for her. With all of her weapons and hopes of escape taken away, she had no choice but to steep in her despair. There was only one thing they hadn't taken. With her hands still tied up, she reached in her pocket and pulled out the sparkling blue pendant and clenched it in her hands. Oh, One-sama, how am I ever gonna get myself out of this one? After what felt like forever, wallowing in despair, wallowing in despair, she was brought back to her senses with what sounded like the faint sound of explosions in the distance. What is going on out there? But before she could get much further with that thought, the far side of the room she was trapped in burst open with a loud bang. She shielded her face from the rubble with her hands. When she opened her eyes, she saw a large shadow of a bird wing at her feet. Come on, let's get out of here before they realize what's going on. Elise stared in shock, noticing her now free hands before tilting her head up to see the source of the voice. What are you doing here? She was astonished to see John standing above her, shielding her with the dark shadow of the wing to his bird. He put the bird away and offered a hand to her. What are you talking about? Now that we made it past the entrance of this place, we can make it out the other side. Elise was starting to piece everything together. This was all part of John's plan to make their way through this impenetrable fortress. Now that they were both inside, it was just a matter of making it to the other side in one piece. Wait a minute. You didn't think I was actually abandoning you after all this time, right? John said with a sigh. Don't you know that the first rule of being a spy is deception? That is the tagline for the series, in case you were wondering. Elise's tears of sadness quickly turned into embarrassment. She was so caught up in the moment, she couldn't see the obvious ploy that John was going for. Ploy. Of course not! She slapped John's hand away and got up to head for the new exit, trying to avoid showing her face. I was just playing the role. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was doing. Elise's obvious lies were not fooling anyone. That's a good bait and switch. Of like John abandoned. Oh no, never mind. What are you thinking? Obviously, that's what John was going to do. Listen, we don't have time for your games. I've set this whole place up with explosives as a distraction, but that won't buy us too much time, John explained. Well then, let's get going, Elise said with a pout, still avoiding eye contact, as she switched her dress into battle mode. I think calling her dress battle mode, I think, is also another edit I did post-Dom. There's two eras of editing for this phase. BD and PD. Pre-Dom and post-Dom. The two ran out of the prison cell and towards John's bike as he parked in the underground garage. As the two were running down a flight of stairs, they heard a series of explosions from above them. Crap, we don't have much time. Here, take this. John flicked the hilt of a rapier in a small bag toward Elise. Thank you, she said properly, still feeling embarrassed despite the commotion they were in. John rolled his eyes and the two continued down the stairs, eventually reaching a dark room where his bike sat. Their ticket out of this place was just ahead of them. However, a rough voice called out to them. Well, I still don't know what voice to give this character. Well there, Mr. Cowboy, this is the first time I see you in months, and this is how you say hello? The lights suddenly flickered on, and there was a person John recognized standing between them and the bike. It was a muscular tall woman with a short pink... It was a muscular tall woman with short... I can't read words. One more time, from the top. The light suddenly flicked on, and there was a person John recognized standing between them and the bike. It was a muscular tall woman with a short pixie-cut pink hairdo. She was wearing heavy combat boots with a military-looking pair of cargo pants and a dark tank top. The most noticeable thing about her appearance was the pair of metal gauntlets that were twice the size of her head, covering her hands and going down past her forearm. She punched her palm with her fist, and a loud, dull thud echoed throughout the room. Rose, I should have known you would be here, John scoffed. Rose? Do you know this woman, Mr. John? Yeah, Rose is the leader of the bandits in this area. She's well respected and feared by everyone around. So, your friend? Elise said hopefully. Well, seeing as I just wrecked up her base, I would say no. Thought so. That's definitely like a Sonic interaction if I ever had one. This is also slightly out of a thing, whatever. Rose broke up their private conversation by awkwardly clearing her throat. So you go by John now, do you? I like it. I'll make sure it's written properly on your gravestone. Listen, Rose, we don't have to fight. I just want to take this princess and get out of here. Big talk coming from the man who just betrayed me and blew up half my base, Rose smirked. But don't worry, I'll make this quick. Stay back, Elise. John reached for his knife and gun, but before he could pull them out, Rose dashed at them with incredible speed. John was punched squarely in the gut by one of the giant gauntlets and sent flying backwards before he could even tell what was going on. There's my sound effect. What's wrong, John? Tired from all that running around? John coughed up some blood and pulled himself up. There's the blood. I was wondering where that was. No, I just wasn't expecting you of all people to pull a shameless attack like that. John was bluffing. What she said was true. After using the bird's power so much and running around to get out of the compound, he wasn't at the top of his game. Bah! But he wasn't giving up. He took out his knife and gun to try to end this quickly. John ran around to Rose's side while shooting at her. Rose used her giant gauntlets to cover her head and most of her torso, making a series of ricocheting clanks. Is that all you got? Your senseless shooting won't work on me. Rose found a break in the barrage and closed the gap, going for another gut punch. John pulled his knife in front of him and used both hands to brace for impact. Bam! Do I do that anywhere else? I thought I was going to, and then I don't think I did. Don't worry about it. I'm a professional writer. I'm a novice writer. I'm learning. I'm getting better. This is like my 4th story. With a loud metal on metal clank, John managed to block Rose's punch, but the force of the impact brought him down on one knee. Not bad, but did you forget I have 2 hands? Shit! Both of John's hands were tied up and blocking the right punch. He had no way to stop the left. Right before the punch connected, the giant fist got deflected by a short sword, knocking Rose off balance. Elise, I thought I told you to stay back. What are you doing? Saving your butt, obviously. I can't make it back to my kingdom without you. Rose jumped backwards. I didn't know the little spoiled princess could do any fighting. Better than you can, jerk face. I like the short banter that Rose and Elise have. Elise, I said get back, John demanded before he cut himself off. Wait a minute, what's up with your sword? He noticed that Elise's sword was different. It was missing some of the blades that normally made up the size of a standard rapier. Now it was about 1/3 of the length. So you noticed, huh? Elise seemed proud of herself. I heard what you said earlier about my long sword not being good for close combat, so I had the genius idea to turn down the power on the magnet to detach some of its pieces and make the sword shorter. Pretty cool idea, right? This is also very vaguely Kid Icarus Uprising coded. Like, now I go back on, where the fudge was that? Oh yeah, Rose broke up their private conversation. I think the phrase private conversation, I think, is from Uprising. Anyway, back to what, no tangents. She turned down the power on her sword to make it shorter. Pretty cool idea, right? Because her sword is made of electromagnets. I guess this princess isn't as useless as I thought. Elise's new sword technique gave John an idea. It was a long shot, but it was the only hope they had. He set his knife down and his bird tattoo started to glow as he slammed his palm down onto the ground. On the ground. Down on the ground. No one is immune to inspiration. That's how it goes, man. You just have to have a large breath of inspiration so you're not just literally ripping off one thing. With that, a big puff of smoke exploded from John's arm and filled the room. Damn, I can't see anything in this. Are you trying to buy time? The two could hear Rose yell out, but that didn't matter. John needed to convey his plan to Elise quickly before the smoke cleared out. Elise, John whispered, I think I have a way out of this. But we need to work together, and you need to trust me. They both knew this was a big ask. They only just met each other yesterday, and their relationship had been kidnapper and hostage until now. But with the enemy blocking the way to freedom in John's condition, there was no other option but to work together. The princess knew this better than anyone. Fine, what's the plan? Elise said confidently. Can you change the power of your sword's magnet mid-swing? I think I can, but why? You can probably catch Rose off guard by swinging your sword at long range and detaching a piece of it midway through, sending it flying towards her. Think you can manage that? I'm not sure. Elise thought for a moment. She had never thought to use her sword as a projectile before. The theory was solid, but aiming was going to be an issue. This whole plan wouldn't work at all if the main attack just went flying off in a random direction. Wait, I got it! A thought occurred to her. When she and her sister were younger, they played tennis together all the time. Elise in particular was quite proud of her serve shot. Perhaps using a racket to launch a tennis ball and using a sword to launch a blade were close enough to each other to work? No, it had to work, Elise said to herself. This I did keep consistent, where the italics are the characters like talking to themselves in their head. I did make sure to make that consistent at least. Yes, I can do it. I just need some time to prepare. No problem. As the smoke dissipated, hold on, my mouth is dry. Okay, we're good. As the smoke dissipated, John ran out to the left of Rose and began shooting at her. Just like before, Rose blocked the bullets with her large gauntlets. I told you, your senseless shooting won't work on me. Rose found a break in the bullets and readied another punch. I don't need it to. What? What? John's sudden confidence confused Rose. She then noticed the sound of footsteps behind her. She turned around to see a young blonde princess with her sword arm bent behind her and her left hand straight up in the air. I told you that I'm better at fighting than you are, jerk face! Elise shouted as she swung her sword down and as her short hair curls and red skirt flew up into the air. Rose was already committed to her punch towards John and didn't have enough time to dodge Elise's sword. She didn't need to, as the princess was standing several meters away from her. Or so she thought, as a tiny blade flew towards Rose, landing directly in her right eye. Ah! Rose screamed out in pain. Oh my gosh! I'm so sorry! Elise was happy that her tennis sword swing worked out, but didn't mean to half blind her enemy. That was a complete fluke. I'll get you for this, you bitch! With a blade. When you accidentally roll a crit. That was the inspiration behind that scene. With the blade still in her face, she tried to grasp her eye to stop the bleeding, but her huge gauntlets were in the way. Before she could do anything else, John came up from behind her and put her in a chokehold. And that, in combination with the shock of the pain and the blood loss, made her lose consciousness. After a moment of squirming around, Rose went limp, and John set her down on the ground. Well, at least that's taken care of. John let out a sigh of relief. Come on, let's get out of here. We can't just leave her like this. She needs medical attention. The princess was flustered after the accidental critical hit. Yes, I did definitely intend that when I originally wrote this, because I wrote critical hit. She'll be fine. Knowing her, she'll be up and about before too long. John reached down and pulled the blade out of Rose's eye, wiped off the blood, and handed it to Elise. Now let's go before we end up worse off than her. If you say so. Elise hesitantly took the blood-soaked blade and put it in her pouch along with the rest of her sword. Bah! Bah! John quickly jumped on the bike and started the engine. Baaing is just my new nervous tick, by the way. I don't know how to tell you this. Never done it before, but that's just how things go. Bah! John quickly jumped on the bike and started the engine. Elise also hopped on the back of the bike before it stormed out of the room and down a long... John quickly jumped on the bike and started the engine. Elise also hopped on the back of the bike before it stormed out of the room and down a long corridor towards freedom. It should have been a straight shot, but in the distance, the two could see a group of bandits with guns blocking the exit. Crap! Hold on, I forgot who was talking. Crap! Crap is right, Elise cried. Only one option left, I suppose. John stretched out his right arm upwards, and the bird tattoo flew out with a screech. After a second, the entire hallway was covered in a pitch black shadow. Elise couldn't see or even hear anything. This must be one of the powers of that bird he was telling me about earlier. Despite her vision and hearing gone, she could still feel the vibration of the bike, along with a large bump, as if they had run over something. Soon after that, the bike hit an incline, flying into the air and out of the shadow. For a brief moment, the two were weightless as the bike flew through the air and explosions sounded behind them. The bike landed in a patch of green grass as the bike sped off into a dense forest. Elise looked behind them and saw a large metal building that was the bandit fortress, exploding into a smoldering pile of rubble. That was quite the exit there, Mr. Cowboy. Elise turned back to John. Whoa, wait a minute. Are you okay? Is this also... Yeah, I guess that was supposed to be two things. Anyway, whoa, wait a minute. Are you okay? Yeah, just fine. He was coughing blood into his hand as he was trying to drive and avoid the trees. I just overused my powers a bit is all. Well, I guess you can't just use that bird willy-nilly. Willy! I don't know if I would call what I just did willy-nilly, but yes, it puts a strain on my body. Strain? But couldn't you just heal yourself up like you did when we first met? Not exactly, but either way, I'd prefer not to use it at all. Hello, Shark Osame! Caught me at the end of the first chapter. Let me finish. We're almost done. Elise still wasn't sure how John's powers worked or why he was so hesitant to use them, but she figured it was a sensitive subject and elected not to ask. Besides, there was something more important on her mind. By the way, Mr. John, you were completely right back there. I thought you left me to die, she said seriously. I wasn't expecting someone so stuck up like you to admit to a mistake. John ruined the mood with a laugh. Why, you? Do I have to remind you that I am a princess and a princess needs to take responsibility for her actions? Elise proclaimed proudly with her nose in the air. What kind of nut job ruler did you learn that from? From what I've seen, being in power is just meant for bossing people around. Not at all. Those in power have a responsibility to take care of those below them. I don't know what kind of barn you grew up in, but my parents raised me right. How would your parents feel if they heard you saying things like that? Wouldn't know. They're dead. John's remark quickly returned the mood of the bike to serious once again. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Don't sweat it. That was a long time ago. I'm over it. I see. Even with... bah! I see. Even without seeing his face, Elise knew that John was forcing a smile. She could tell that this was even more of a sensitive topic than the bird. So once again, she decided to respect John's feelings and not continue the topic further. So the two sat in silence for a moment as they made their way through the dense forest. Can't have a main character without their parents being dead. After a moment, they made their way out of the forest and into the precipice of a cliff. In the valley, there was a majestic, tall castle jutting out of the center of a small, tranquil village, backlit by the setting sun. Compared to the desert wasteland they were just in, the dense foliage and crisp air was very welcome, especially for Elise. We finally made it. Home, Elise said with a soft smile. About time, John grunted. I'm ready for this whole journey to be over. Meanwhile, in the dark corridor of the castle sat a mysterious hooded man in a room filled with machines. A beeping went off on a nearby device. He looked at the alert and grew a mischievous grin. So, they're finally here. Now the real fun can begin. Bwah, bwah, bwah! Episode 1. And... yippee! Dead Spy Road Trip is finally done! After on-off work for like 6 effing years, 5 or 6 years, it's finally effing done. They got to the castle, but who is this mysterious voice? Is the journey actually over? It's episode 1 of at least 2, so we know the answer to that is no. The answer to that is absolutely no. There's crap waiting for them in the castle. And also, thank you to all my beta readers. Your valuable feedback may help make this story as good as it is. For Giga Thunders / Dom, Solar Mom, and my step sibling. Or my 3 beta readers. So yeah, that is it. I hope you all enjoyed. And for some the people who just got here, I'm gonna hit publish like right now as soon as I double check over this. And if you're watching the VOD and you're just here for the story reading, the story reading is over. We're just gonna chill and chat for a little bit before ending the stream. But yeah, if you want to see more if you want to know what happens in episode 2 of Dead Spy Road Trip, which I pretty much finished and was going to release next week, but I want to play Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. And also don't want to rush episode 2. So episode 2 will be out in May. I think early May, from what I said earlier. What did I say? What does my official infographic say? Gotta check the official infographic of the infographics. I think it was in layout stuff. Early May, okay. Or it will be out early May. Probably one of the first streams I do when I come back. Because I'm moving on the, 22nd. So there'll be streams next weekend, and then after that, I will be moving to a new place and getting everything set up, and once I have everything set up, there'll be more streams! There'll be more than 1 or 2 streams a week. Actually, I've been doing pretty consistently with 2 streams a week. So, Shark-o-same, Nihongo shabette imasu ka? I think, I haven't seen Shark-o-same. I think Shark-o-same is from the, showed up last in, Donkey Kong Bonanza. Anyway, what y'all think? I hope you all enjoyed. If you're watching the VOD, let me know in the comments. What is your favorite character, and what do you think of John and Elisa's dynamic? I quite like their bantery back and forth dynamic. And honestly, I don't know. I can't pick favorites. I told you I'm an opinion already, but still is good, yeah. It should be even better, because I've did some editing. I was gonna cut down a lot more. Things like, some of the princess's internal thoughts. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, this whole sentence here where she was like, well, he is right. He could have killed me, and also I could use a ride back. Solar Mom suggested removing because it's well, we can already intuit that. But also, I left it in because, this is kind of, aimed at, it's supposed to be a light novel, and light novels are supposed to be, easy to read and not supposed to be, you have to keep a bunch of things in your head and remember a lot of things. So, I feel re-explaining some things every now and again is not a bad idea. But I'm being careful not to do it too much. I think I had some notes for things I wanted to say in the afterword. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. Pokemon. Pokemon channel, by the way. When we playing Pokemon channel. Anyway, as I said at the beginning, I originally came up with this idea in early 2020. Where I was just thinking man, I just had an idea of just a cowboy on a motorcycle driving through the desert, in the opening line. A cowboy on a motorcycle rides through a post-apocalyptic desert wasteland. I feel like I could just say post-apocalyptic desert, but I like adding wasteland just to really sell it. But for various reasons, it kept getting put off. Only you are stopping you from playing Pokemon channel. I know, that was just me asking me when we playing Pokemon channel. But yeah, for various reasons, I wanted to work, like, it just kept getting put on the back burner, because I wanted to be, after, like, 2020, like, that was when I started the early stages of becoming a VTuber, and also I was still living in Japan at the time, so I was, like, busy, but yeah, then I wanted to be like a VTuber, and then after that, I wanted to have like debut lore, and then I was like, well, I don't want to just start with a series, so then I did Fight in Time to like have just a one-off like story of things, a one-off story just to show like, hey, what my writing is about. And then I was gonna do Dead Spy Road Trip, and then I'm like, well, if I'm commissioning this artwork of me and my waifu anyway, I might as well write a fan fiction about it, right? And then that was 2 years ago, and then right after that was the time skip arc, where I was in the mountains training, and then right after that was the tummy hurt arc, where I had like a tummy ache for like effing 6 months. It was like July to like October. I can't do math, but I think that was like 4 months. But yeah, it was really bad. And then after that, I was doing that after school job, and that's when I actually wrote most of this. And then the next summer, I moved to the bad place, and mental health was a problem, but I finally did get around to finishing it, and now I'm moving, so assuming no tummy hurt arc or terrible living situation happens, living situation will be better, so presuming no other tummy hurt arc, my next writing will not be 2 years from now. I was also working on this, which is a 2-parter, so that's like longer than anything I've ever written. Cause like, I think if you like look at my Medium page, let me make sure I don't like show off anything that I don't want to show off. Meow, 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 meow. So yeah, the intro lore was just under 1,000 words. Fighting Time was 10,000 words. That's actually was a decent length. And then this fan fiction that I made just for this picture was 7,000 words. And Dead Spy Road Trip is currently, again, I still need to like finish all of episode 2, but last I checked it was about 10,000 words, so 18,000 words. And also, like, it was the beginning of a series, so I wanted to make sure it was as good as it could be, and like make sure everything was like consistent, like setting up for a big series. Like, I need to figure out like, okay, what do I want to say now? What do I want to say like immediately? What do I want to reveal in these episodes? And what do I want to save until like later in the series? Like kind of stuff like, and like planning out the future of the series and kind of stuff like that. But hopefully now that it's completed, it won't take long to have the next one. Next one that will be out in May. It's gonna be May. But yeah, my main inspiration for this series is like classic 2000s era action adventure anime, like stories like that, like because it's not an isekai. It's a light novel, but it's not an isekai. It's a like inspired by early 2000s like action adventure anime, like Full Metal Out, like play like, you know, anime where like you have a main group of cast and they just like go to various places and go on adventures. No more isekais. I'm eventually going to have to write a parody isekai at some point. I'm sorry, Dom. But yeah, the main inspiration was things like, you know, Full Metal Alchemist, where, you know, they have like a main goal, but they also have like little side adventures. Inuyasha was a big one too. I like the little like episodic adventures that they go on in Inuyasha. Eureka 7, another one. Pokemon, obviously, is a big one. Just don't be Konosuba tier parody. I'll do my best. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, Inuyasha, Rekka 7, Pokemon. Also video game series like the Tales series. I can't give you a specific Tales game because I don't think I finished any Tales game. I've played like I'm really bad with finishing RPGs, even if they're action RPGs. But I did play a couple of the Tales games. Tales of My Beloved. I don't think that's a Tales of game, but I'll take your word for it. But yeah, I made a lot of short stories and fanfics in the past, but I wanted to try my hand at a big original story in the action adventure format. Fit perfectly for the type of story I wanted to tell. We're playing Vesperia co-op. I think, isn't that a PS3 game? Tales of Vesperia. That's the one with the dog, is it? Is it not? 360? I think I played that game. That's the one where you could play as a puppy, right? Someone. Oh, it's on Steam. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. We could play it on like remote play. What was the opening? I know I heard a lot of the openings of Tales of. I was humming the Bump of Chicken opening. Bam bam meow 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 meow. I'm done. But I think Tales of Vesperia is like meow 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 meow, something like that. Anyway, but yeah, going back to my afterwards notes, a big thing I wanted to convey in the first episodes are the personalities of the two main characters. That's Abyss. No, the first one I sung was Abyss. The meow 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 meow. Yeah, that was Abyss. What did I say? Let me finish my notes. A big thing I wanted to convey in the first episode are the personalities of the two main characters. I think a gruff cowboy and a sassy princess is a fun pairing. But don't worry, like many action adventure series, there will be more characters introduced as the series goes on. Also, how some of these changed from conception to final draft. In chapter 4, there was a cut scene where Elise tries to escape and gets pretty far before running into John, who is on her way to save her. But I cut it because of pacing reasons, and it's funnier if she gets rescued right away anyway. Cut scene, a removed lost media. Is lost media something you understand? Is lost media vocabulary you understand better? A removed scene, like somewhere in here during the beginning of chapter 4, where Elise thinks that John just sold her to the bandit fortress. You said it so close together, okay? I might have said it way too close together, I agree. I think I wrote it too close together. No, I wrote it as two separate words in my notes. But yeah, somewhere around here, like she was gonna try to like escape and like get relatively far, but I was like, yeah, it's kind of pointless. That was criticism some of my beta. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Some of my beta readers had is that like Elise is a little too useless, but do not know what character development is, and B, that's exactly what I want you to think at this point in the story. Yeah, I actually said that in the next sentence. Actually, something one of my beta readers says that Elise was too useless in this episode, and I should change it, but I didn't because that's the point. But don't worry, she'll still develop more as a character as the series goes on, as well as the rest of the cast. And either chapter 1 or 3 is my favorite so far. Chapter 1, I really love their like intro of like John, like just the introduction of the two characters. I think I really like, and I also like that John was like set Elise free just to stir up panic, but she actually started to like fight a little bit, and then but she couldn't like fight that well, and then she accidentally almost like killed him. That's kind of what I was going by here. Where was it? Yeah, at least that was over. He was cut off by a cold sensation. The Prince's sword is going directly into his chest and piercing his heart. That was kind of, and then she was like, ah, shit, I didn't mean to actually kill him. I was kind of thinking that, like, she was intending to, like, stab him, but, like, not too deep and not, like, in the hearts. But, like, he turned, as he was saying, like, okay, hey, how about he was, like, kind of turning around and kind of, like, walked into it. So yeah, she technically got 2 critical roles. She got 2 nat 20s in this first episode, because there was that, and then her accidentally landing her blade directly in Rose's eye. Clip that chat and check back 3 years later. I'll clip it, but what the fudge are you talking about? I know, I saw that comment I should have seen. There's potential in the girl not knowing her own strength, yeah. That's actually a good point, yeah. I feel like that also kind of gives the idea of, like, yeah, Elise can do well. She just is very unskilled. So maybe, you know, maybe throughout the series, like, she'll practice and train and get better. I don't know, maybe. Maybe. I don't want to give away too much. But yeah, I do like that idea. But there is a reason that, like, you know, John's an expert and Elise has a lot of confidence and energy, but not a lot of skills. Oh yeah, chat, come back and check 3 years later. No, seriously, he gets really good right now. Oh, I'm so nervous, I'm about to pee my pants, I'm so nervous. No, by like episode 203, he gets like really good. Oh, I'm pee and poop everywhere. And then episode like 203 is like, I'm not the Benji Kun you knew before. I'll never let my friends down again. It's like, well now, but now he effing sucks. Goofing, a lot of writers say things like that, and then the girl continues not doing things as promised. Kingdom Hearts moment. Yeah, that is a problem with Kingdom Hearts, but I'm telling you this now, and I will do it. Put me to gunpoint, I'll do it. But yeah, I think I was saying chapter 1 or 2 might be 1 or 3 might be my favorite, just because I really like their introduction. Like when I wrote this first chapter, that was like basically what convinced me to make this a long-running series. But chapter 3, Trust and Distrust, I really like, just because like I think it conveys the themes of the series that I'm trying to go for. That I kind of want to leave up to reader interpretation. But like this whole idea of just like, can I trust you? Should I trust you? Do I want to trust you? Like, if I trust you, what bad thing is gonna happen? Like, you know, stuff like that. Like, can I trust? Should I trust you? Can I trust you? How do I trust you? Like, those are like big themes of the story moving forward, without spoiling too much. So I like that. Is there anything else I wanted to say? Oh yeah, I will say this right now. Rose will come back later if it wasn't obvious, because she's like a named character that has like a design. And they said that she wasn't dead, so like it's probably not hard to know that she's about to come back. But she doesn't appear in the second episode. But Elise's sister does get brought up, because like she's going back to the castle, have to meet up with her sister. So there's that, and also the mystery of John's bird tattoo will also be more explained in the second episode. So if you want so yeah, there'll definitely be that. So if you want to know about what the fudge is going on, what does the title Dead Spy Road Trip mean? We got the spy, we got the road trip. He kind of died, except he was fine. He's all better now. So So if you want to know more about what that is, subscribe or follow me on Medium, medium.com /@ Enyou Solaris. It's linked in the description. Where that's basically where I put the text version. Or you can subscribe and you'll see the stream when I upload it. But I think that's it. Anyone have any questions? I think Dom is the only one here. But yeah, if you're watching the VOD and you have some questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Also, let me know in the comments what was your, you know what? Let me know in the comments what was your favorite scene. I want to know what your favorite scene is. Both in episode 1 so far. Both Dom, who's currently here, and people watching the VOD. I want to know, because I don't beg for comments, because like engagement doesn't matter that much, but I do actually want to know what people think of my story, of my baby, my child, that I'm running out into the wilderness and I'm setting free out into the wild to fend for itself. That's what it feels like. For my favorite scene, it might be the opening scene. I feel like that's a basic bitch answer, but the opening scene is really funny. You know what? I do like no, I like the scene near the end of chapter 3 where Elise kind of opens up about her backstory. At least a little bit. Yeah, recently she's I look up to her a lot, but recently she's changed. She suddenly gave up her right to the throne and disappeared without saying a word. Like, what's going on there? And like she's like thinking to herself, like, why am I opening up to this guy for exposition? But don't think about it too hard. Dom is thinking about what his favorite scene is, or fell asleep, one way or the other. I feel awkward ending the stream after like 2 hours, but I think that's all I got, and I want to keep the VOD nice and short. And I will be back next week. I know, I feel bad just like dropping just a 2-hour stream and then leaving for a week, but like that's kinda how it goes. But hope it will not be done. I thought I said to you before for review. I forgot. I do know that you said that I stole your idea of having a weapon use magnets. I remember you said that before, and I know that you said that you generally liked the characters and you liked their interactions, but I don't remember if I was knowing what your exact favorite scene was. Work is gonna kill me. Unfortunately, I missed everything after that explains everything thing I said. It's okay, Mar. Just watch the VOD. The VOD will be timestamped. Just that'll be your homework is to watch the VOD before episode 2 comes out in early May. Kind of between the start, because good comedy, and the climax part near the end. Yeah, I do. You know what? The climax part is good because like it's kind of like, you know, showing the development that they went through in this short time, where at the beginning like they didn't know each other. They were just hostage or kidnapper and hostage, but near the end they actually did end up working together, and we had a funny scene of an accidental critical hit. Well, where did that go? Yeah, the princess was flustered after the accidental critical hit. Yeah, that's a good scene. I agree. I liked how panicked she was after stabbing him. That was a good scene. Oh yeah, I was saying this like a second ago, but the idea, if you didn't get the whole picture, I probably could have said this better, but when he was like, hey, how about we, and he was cut off by a cold sensation, and then she was stabbing him, and she's like, oh shit, I didn't mean to actually kill him. Like, she was, I think the idea was that, like, she was going to go, like, stab him, but just to, like, not that hard, only to, like, incapacitate him. But he kind of, like, turned around and, like, walked into it, and that ended up, like, giving her an accidental critical hit, so she had two accidental crits here. Yeah, that was really funny. I wouldn't say stole the idea, because it's different uses of the same idea, yeah. Also, I've never said it before. I'm sorry, did I ruin it? Did I say something publicly that you only said to me privately? I'm sorry, forget that, wipe the VOD. You forgot everything I said about whatever Dom said. I'm sorry. Also, quick question. No, I'm gonna say no. No, Lol, you're good. I was like, for marketing purposes, should I make John and Elise in Tomodachi Life? And when people ask like, hey, who are those two characters? I can be like, well, if you want to know who those two characters are, medium.com/@Enyou Solaris. I'll think about it, but the only reason I wouldn't do it is because I already have so many other me's to add that it would be that adding in OCs I don't think would be. I already have like all of my friends, a bunch of Hololive girls, a lot of anime characters, some shitpost characters. Like, I'm gonna fill up that island way too quickly. Which one is marrying Hatsune Miku on your Tomodachi Island? I need to know. What happens will happen, okay? I'll let whatever happens happen. But you know what? Probably, Wade Wimple. Wade Wimple will be the only character who, if they marry Miku, I'll be like, you know what? I'm not mad. That's understandable, honestly. If Tomodachi Life Living the Dream ends, if my playthrough of Tomodachi Life Living the Dream ends and Wade Wimple does not have a harem, a multi-gendered harem, I will be very disappointed. And yes, I will just make everyone in my Tomodachi Island, pan, just because that's the funnier option. Just like, everyone's pan. Everyone can romance anyone, and that's the funny part. Unless, like, they're, like, siblings or the same person or whatever. Meow, 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 meow. I'm out of water. I need to transfer some more Miis. Because, yeah, that will be my next stream. I hope you all enjoyed Dead Spy Road Trip. It is my baby, and I released it out into the world. I'm just really happy that I released another story, because it's been over years. I'm a fox, not a pan. Well, now I have to have a character that's literally a frying pan. It will be, Giga Panders. Oh, hold on. Giga Panders is a really effing good is a really good name. Oh, I didn't cut out the starting screen in this? That's crazy. January 16th, 2024. So yeah, that was like... Maybe that was only... No, that was 2 years ago. Am I crazy? Yeah, 2 years ago. I was like, that's only like 1.5 years ago. But I'm like, wait, hold on. I can't effing think right now. Only thing that's going on in my head right now is... And also... Wait. Cream butt flubber catch! Why am I getting an alt lore for CPU me and evil me, now this? I was gonna say, the limit for Tomodachi Life, living the dream, the me limit is 70, but honestly, it's like 35, just because every single person on the island needs an evil counterpart. we'll have Solaris, and then we'll have the evil Polaris, and then we'll have Dom, and then CPU Dom, and then we'll have Mar, and then Jar for the evil Mar. Tevin's evil counterpart will be named Jevin. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. Hold on, I gotta write that down. I gotta write that down to make CPU Dom. I don't know what CPU Dom will look like, but CPU Dom definitely has to be in my island. And then CPU Dom will eventually marry Hatsune Miku, and I'll be like, not again, CPU Dom! No, CPU Dom will steal my waifu, 100%. CPU Dom. Be like, God damn it, not again, CPU Dom! I have an idea, I might try something later. If you have an idea for what CPU Dom could look like. Because my only thing is, like, either you, but with gray hair, or, like, red hair, whatever the opposite of blue is. Or you, but you're me, but, like, with, like, a robot face. Or, like, an antenna, or, like, an antenna or something, instead of fox ears. Cream butt flobber catch. The cave story face lines. Unironically, cave story face lines might go kind of hard. I think you can do that in Tomodachi Life. I still have the demo. I can look it up. But I can't, like, I'm not gonna, like, finish the demo, so I can't transfer the Miis over, so I'll make them in regular Miis. Oh, with face paint, yeah, I suppose. I think you generally want to avoid making mouth and eyes with face paint, because if you do that, then they won't be able to, like, open their mouth to talk or, like, blink. So I think you generally want to avoid that. But usually people just, like, make face and bangs and stuff like that. We'll figure it out. If you want to know that, then come to my Tomodachi Life Living the Dream stream. April 17th. Game comes out the 16th, but I'm not going to be here the 16th. I'll be here the 17th. Cave story mention can't hold back. Have to play stream every cave story game. Hey, did you know that there was a rumor that there was going to be a Star Fox racing game? All of them. Play the original freeware game, then play the WiiWare game, then play Cave Story 3D, then play Cave Story Plus, and then play the ROM hack WTF story. And then just go on from there, man. Also, speaking of 3D, remind me when Celeste eventually stops being on sale and I buy it and play it, remind me to also play Celeste 64. Because that was like a Super Mario 64 ROM hack that was made by the actual Celeste devs. You see that Nintendo's making fake leaks? I'm still mad about Planet Robobot HD. Dokutsu Monogatari twin? Dokutsu mean? Oh, Dokutsu. You forgot a U. You forgot the U. You made a tiny minor foreign language spelling error. you dimwit. I'm waiting. Soul. Didn't recognize without the U guard Caesar. Don't. Should make me check the Discord. This better be worth it. Oh, minor spelling mistake. Oh my gosh. I can't download it. It's a fudging. Hold on. Twitter video downloader. We'll show this GIF on stream. Don't worry. Save link as GIFs. Save. Don't know why you just so happened to fudging. Wait, where'd it go? Where did it go? It's gone. It's gone. I put it in my GIFs folder and now it's gone. Oh my god, it's not an actual GIF. It's an MP4 file. Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, it's an MP4 file. It literally says downloaded GIF. Oh my god, hold on. I can fix this. I can fix it. I just need to import it as a media and then set loop. There we go. Minor spelling mistake. You know that this was not 100% worth it. I guarantee you. You know, when like anime characters die in like a blaze of glory, they like fade out. That looks like what that's doing. Hold on, where's the Fubuki dying GIF? Fubuki dying GIF. This is the wrong Fubuki. Hollow live Fubuki dying GIF. I can't find it. White flash GIF. Found it. I found it. This. You know when anime characters die like this? Where they just kind of fade into a blaze of glory and kind of like their outlines fade out. That's kind of what this GIF looks like. By GIF I mean MP4 file. Spelling mistake was a neurodivergent and a minor. They weren't thinking right. Yeah, 100%. Sure, that was the inspo for that animation. Yeah, 100%. Stream. Hello. I don't know why my internet is cutting out. Oop, scary. They're trying to cut you off. They know too much. Run. Okay, that's actually the end of the stream. Thank you to anyone live viewing or VOD watcher that made it to this point in the stream when we're done and we're just ranting for like 20 minutes. Regular streams will come back in May. And yeah, but also anime discussions will also return. So, because so far my plan right now is release this, done, check, already done. And then the 17th and 18th we'll do Tomodachi Life. And then that next week I'm moving. But hopefully early May I will be moved in, have the internet set up, and everything will be. I'm testing out the sheep persona. How many animals have I been? Because I've done cow, rabbit. I just did fox yesterday, and now I'm doing goat. or sheep. It's just a nervous tick I gained during this stream, and I've never done it before. But you know how it just goes. And also ball. Is ball a species? You don't remember the bunny. Here's the bunny picture. I love this picture so much. The fur virus. New vocal stem just dropped. I know, why didn't I go for a moo? What's wrong with me? The littlest guy. Azarad also with Ball Laris. I still have this as like my icon on Annie list. So anytime, so I guess the other day Azarad was looking at my anime list, at my Annie list, and noticed that I had that icon, and he just randomly messaged me the other day and was like, hey, by the way, I really love that ball picture of you. It's a great picture. And I'm like, thanks. Thank Poke drew it. I had it commissioned just for that one meme and that one short. Just for one bit, but it's been getting a lot of use actually, just because it's a really good picture. And it works really well as a profile icon, because like all the profile icons nowadays are like circles. Anyway, I'm actually ending. Yeah, short stream, but go watch the VOD. If you haven't finished to watch the VOD, that is your homework, because the Roku Dengeki Super, yeah, that was what that was based off of. Because I think I just sent Poke, do I still have that picture? I just sent Poke a sprite sheet from Dengeki Bunko, and I'm like, kind of something like this. I don't know if I have it. Is it in comm stuff? It is in comm stuff. It was this sprite sheet. Where in the upper right you can see that Shauna Ball. So I just sent the Poke like that, and I'm like, yeah, do make me a ball like this. And Poke's like, I got you. And then gave me absolute peak. Shauna? Was that not Shauna? Was that not Shauna? No, that was, oh, no, that's not Shauna. You're right. It's Taiga with the Shauna colors. So, same VA, same color scheme, wrong character. That's Taiga with the Shauna colors. That's almost as confusing as that one Aegis skin in Smash Brothers where it's a pyra-colored. I was gonna say pyra-colored Homura, but that wasn't the right. What was the other one's name? Mithra. Pyra-colored Mithra, and then Mithra-colored Pyra. I only ever see, like, anytime I played Xenoblade 2 in Japanese, and anytime that I see anyone talk about Xenoblade 2 nowadays, it's always like Japanese posts. So I just know them. I don't only know them as Hikari and Homura. Hikari literally meaning light, and being Mithra, and Homura meaning like fire and pyro. Not to be confused with Pyron. Meow, meow, meow. Anyway, I'm gonna go sleep now. I hope you all enjoyed Dead Spy. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed Dead Spy Road Trip Episode 1. Episode 2 is releasing in May. And if you haven't seen this, go catch up, because people like it. It got a great raving review from Dom. What did he say? What did he say? Meow, 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 meow. Hold on, I want an exact quote. Yeah, I told you my opinion already, but still is good. Is good. We got a raving recommendation. And also, I had a lot of fun reading it. And this will be Episode 2 starts out like right where episode 1 ended off. So it is not a self-contained story because episode 1 ended on a cliffhanger. So yeah, I will publish this. Yeah, I don't. Let's hide this while I hit publish, but I will hit publish live on stream. Add a topic. Oh fudge! I didn't know what to do that. I don't know what to do about that one. No, hold on. Light novel, and I'll also just do the tag dead. By road ROAD trip, and I'll add more tags later. Publish. There you go. Now you can go in the description, and it is on my. It is now officially on my Medium page. This is not January 2025. It was January 2024, maybe. That's just when I made my Medium account. But here, Dead Spy Road Trip episode 1. I should also add like some a blurb like I did here. Also, if you want to support me, go to this and make an account and hit like and make a comment if you want to support me on Medium. But as long as you enjoyed it, that's all that matters. But if you also want to support, no, actually just outside of supporting, tell me what was your favorite, as I said before, tell me in the comments, what was your favorite scene of Dead Spy Road Trip? And what are you excited to see more of in episode 2? There's a lot of lingering questions, a lot of, you know, plot threads that haven't been closed up yet. So what are you excited for? And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. I will not take 2 years to make another story. That episode 2 will be out in May, and the next one after that one will not take 2 years to make. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. That was Dead Spy Road Trip. I'm very happy, and 34-minute read. It only takes 34 minutes. You read it. It took an hour to read it, but okay. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. I've been Enyou Solaris. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. And until next time, support art, support artists, especially the artists that helped to make Dead Spy Road Trip a reality. Take care of it. Take care of yourself. Be kind to others. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Have a good rest of your times. And until next time, stay fresh, cheese bags. Dumb message have day in the background. But yeah, bye. Next stream will be next Friday. Tomodachi Life. Okay, bye.